Guys, Larry here again. I'm just going to run through a quick video on how to teach you actually how to program yourself based off a 4-day week program. So basically, to get strong, to lose fat, etc., it can be condensed into one program that everyone can apply. It's quite a myth that it can't. Again, if you can't back squat, obviously, for example, if it's not specific to you, it can be. You just take a back squat, for example. So if you have a lot of kyphosis in this position, for example, and it just doesn't make sense to put a barbell on your back because you feel like you're on a face plant all the time, then maybe something like a front squat or even a goblet squat would do properly. So if you want the assistance worksheet to try and find an exercise that works for you, just ask me for it and I'll send it on. So to teach you really quickly, the best thing to do is work off a 4-day program. Here I'm going to show you a 4-day program, which is based upon Monday program, so day 1. Day 2 would be like an upper body program. Again, take note along the left hand side here, guys, that say it's going to be on Monday, you work out, you do a squat day. Tuesday, you do your upper body bench day, so toning your arms. Then you take a day rest on Wednesday. Very important you have your rest. But then on Thursday, you might do a posterior chain day, which involves your glutes, hamstrings, bum, etc. And getting this strong, so which would be called a deadlift day. So I'm calling it squat / deadlift day because if someone really struggles with doing deadlifts and just cannot handle the concept, then there's no harm to do squats again and then incorporate some of these exercises, especially like the D's here, for example. And then finally on day 4, what you're looking at, guys, is, on day 4, what you're looking at is basically you're looking at an assistance day. So again, this is incorporating exercise that may have been missed, like shoulder press, for example. And also on your assistance day, you can also focus a lot, for example, on, say, arms for the lads here, guys, so B1, B2. Or if you want to change these around, and you can do something for your bums, girls, if that's what you're trying to tone up your area. So again, areas of your body that are applicable to what your goals are. Ignore this 2-week program thing, that's just a typo. So for example, guys, we're going to talk real quickly. So on day 1 is your squat day. So you do this on the Monday at the start of the week. No reason behind doing it at the start of the week. It's just good to get in there and get your squat strong because it will carry over onto all your lifts. So for example, it's the same across the board basically on your first 3 programs. So squat, you're trying to get strong all the time. Again, the stronger you get, then the more work capacity you're able to do. And you'll just feel, in general, you'll feel a lot better by just being strong. And as well, girls, especially if you're scared of getting underneath your barbell, don't be. This is going to be a fast track route to you actually toning up faster and getting results faster, because you start developing a little bit of lean muscle mass, which will go unnoticed, but will, as in like when you're thinking about bodybuilders, etc., but it will go a long way to getting toned figure that you want. So again, squat A1, guys, you're doing 2 to 5 reps is the rep range, really focusing on your A1. So you might start out by doing, say, 5 by 5, for example, and then maybe decrease that as time goes down, decrease the reps. 5 by 5 one week, 5 by 4 another week, 5 by 3 on your third week, and then you can just keep on doing that cycle if you want to. So you do, say, for example, 5 reps with 3 seconds down, so tempo of 3 seconds down, 0 at the bottom, spend 1 second to come up, then go back down for 3 seconds. Again, 3-0-1 tempo is the best to do. So again, if you're lowering down it, just squat, you're taking 3 seconds to go down. You're taking 0 seconds here at the bottom. That would be 1 second if you're doing a pause at the bottom. Then you're taking 1 second to stand up, and then you continue on, guys, doing that for 5 reps. So then you're taking 2-minute recovery. And then once you take a 2-minute recovery, you're then going in to repeat that for 5 to 6 sets. Once you have 5 to 6 sets done with that, guys, recording all your lifts that you do, then you can go into doing, work away, Kev. Then you can go into doing front squats. So a front squat with a pause, for example, would be your B1. I like to throw in a single leg squat, for example, sitting back onto a bench, because I find that a lot of clients get found out doing this because one leg is predominantly usually very stronger than the other, and it's important to get both legs strong, so I like throwing it in. So front squat with a pause, or you can do 1 1/4 front squats, for example, or eccentric front squats. So front squat with a pause would more look like 3 seconds down, a 2-second pause at the bottom, a 1 second to stand up, and 0 seconds. So you do, say, 4 reps in that. Again, I don't like doing too many reps because you blow your knees out. Again, so you do that for 4 reps. Your front squats, and you go straight in, 0 recovery take, and go single leg squat, sitting back on the bench or how deep you can with good form. Again, tempo here, guys. Do 6 reps, then take 2-minute rest again, so 120 seconds rest. So there you go, guys. That's your toning really going on. And then for your assistance work, you can use this as a HIIT or a Tabata. I like doing 4 exercises. Really, I find is the cleanest way of doing it. And try and do it so in a way that you don't need too much equipment, especially if you're working from some gym in town. So I like to work this in time. You do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So sort of 40-20. And the way you work this, guys, is that you do wide stance RDLs, for example, and that will work the inside of your hamstring. You do that for 40 seconds. Again, tempo 3-0-1. So that you should be able to get 10 reps in on that. So you do that for 40 seconds. Then you try and get over to the next exercise, and you start as soon as you can. You spend 40 seconds doing a side plank one side, maybe 40 seconds the other side. I advise do 20 seconds one side, 20 seconds the other. 40 seconds is a little long, and your forearm will break down. Then you go straight into a kettlebell swing for 40 seconds, and then a plank. In this workout in particular, you shouldn't really need to take too much of a rest. You can possibly take 60 seconds rest here and then decrease it as you go on, but you try and get as much work as possible. In when you're doing this workout, guys. The whole aim is a big burn up, but again, if you're doing something like RDLs, make sure that you're using decent form throughout and kettlebell swing, and record yourself if you're not sure if you're actually doing decent form. Then you'd move on to bench day, guys. So bench press day, again the same concept that I talked about in the squat, 5 to 6 sets of 2 to 5 reps, again paying attention to tempo and recovery. Then you go into your B1, B2, so chins, again a big compound movement. Again, all your A's are compound movements, so stick to doing compound movements for your A's. But for B's here, guys, you do chins and maybe do an incline bench press. Again, pay attention to tempo, and also pay attention to the reps that you're doing. And here, guys, chins, no recovery. You do 3 to 6 reps with 3-second tempo, 3-second negative, and you pull yourself up. And then you go into incline dumbbell bench for 10 reps, again tempo, and then you take 2 minutes rest. Again, guys, if you can't do chins, then do something like inverted rows, or else lat pull down is really good for this instead of chins. Once you do that, then you move into another block. So 4 exercise block, again high rep range. Push-ups, do as many push-ups as you can in 40 seconds. If you can't do a full push-up, just do it off a heightened thing, like something like a table, for example. You can do your push-ups off a table. And then you go into inverted rows, so using rings, chest up, putting yourself in. Again, working on tempo, guys, nice and slow on the way down. Tricep extensions for the back of your arms. Again, that helps lock out your bench press. So if you struggle to finish your bench press, you need to strengthen your triceps. And then pec flies, so that you can push the bar hard off your chest and have strong chest, guys. And then the assistant work in the red is very important here, is rotator cuff, to get your external rotators quite strong and healthy. These are the ones back here that keep your shoulder girdle healthy. So that's bench press, guys. Then number 3, day 3, guys, is squat deadlift. Deadlift day, I call it squat/deadlift because a lot of people struggle to deadlift. So you can squat again here, guys. There's no harm if you want to. Again, just change the rep ranges. If you're doing squat day for a second day, maybe do half the sets. So that for A1, same concept. A sumo deadlift I have here because usually, for example, I find that a lot of people can sometimes squat their deadlift. So I find actually giving them the sumo deadlift to learn first. They're actually able to learn a little better here, and it also helps to open up the hips and keep the hips healthy. Again, just do a normal deadlift or trap bar deadlift if you want to. Then you go into rack pull, four sets on the rack pull of 4 reps. You can change the recovery here, guys. You don't need to do 120. You can do 60 seconds to 120 rest. Again, it's just getting the workload in. Ignore tempo more so on the deadlifts. It's not really it's not needed too much, but be very careful lowering it down. Make sure to get your ass back and lower it down safely. There's videos on YouTube if you want to see how to do it properly. Then C1 is good mornings. Learn how to do these. Really good exercise. Again, 6 reps, 90 seconds recovery. And then you're back into this block, the 4 exercise block. Again, really good hard hit Tabata, gets the heart rate up, burns the fat, but also working on your assistance work. So you can change these around. I don't really mind what route you're going. Using these again for prowler, you can do a bike instead. So you do a bent over row again for 40 seconds. Pay attention to tempo. Back extensions, you can do a back extension hold if you want, hamstring curl or Nordic fall, and then a prowler. Change all these around. Like for example, instead of a prowler, you might do something like a bike sprint, for example, or rower for 40 seconds all out sprint. Again, take 90 seconds rest at the end of this. Well, especially on this one because it's a posterior chain day, so I advise to take 90 seconds rest in between each set. So D1, D2, D3, D4. Again, sheet 4. Then is your assistance day. This is the one we were talking about. So your shoulder press. So for example, get rid of this. So your shoulder press. Again, you've been pushing and pulling, and these movements are very important to move as well, guys, and do your shoulder press. If you struggle to do shoulder press, use dumbbells. Do them seated if you really struggle with your posture, etc. Again, if you want to be able to shoulder press, you should be able to have, do shoulder press pain-free in your shoulders. If not, use dumbbells, maybe do it kneeling. And again, there's always a way of doing it. So next up, guys, you're doing shoulder press. Again, 4 sets on this is fine. You can do more sets, 6 reps into split squats. Again, split squats, guys, it helps with your squat. Take 90 seconds rest, do 4 sets of this. Then go into B1, B2. Arms, guys, there wasn't too much arms earlier on in the week. There's a lot of bench pressing, but if you want to get an extra arm session in, guys, you can do preacher curls. Again, 6 reps. Pay attention to your tempo, push-ups, whatever. Instead of doing 40 seconds, you might do something like 16 push-ups, for example. So high rep ranges, getting that burn. Don't pay attention to this too much. Just change some of this stuff. Again, 90 seconds recovery after that B2. Then you can do something like if you want more arms, you can throw in 21s, for example. Then go into bums or guns. So again, guys, this thing, you can do the whole 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off if you want to. 21s or 21s. So there's a quick run through, guys, of how to do a program. Again, you have your squat day, day 1, do it on a Monday. Then second day, straight the day after, you can do a bench day, but then you're taking a rest on a Wednesday. Then you have your deadlift day on, say, a Thursday. Then on a Saturday, you can do your assistance work on a Saturday. And so, guys, the main concept is these 4 exercises, a big fat burning phase. If you really push yourself hard doing them, you'll find the heart rate is going up. Again, throw in an interval session as well on a 5th day if you want. But again, 2 days rest will probably be necessary for the amount of volume that you're doing on this, even 3 days rest. Again, start off when you're doing it, guys, do maybe instead of doing 5 to 6 sets for your A1, just do 3 sets, add a set on each week. And then that should help you. Again, record everything you're doing. If you have any questions, just ask. Hopefully that helps.